Good morning. So this is going to be the first official discussion I'm going to have in the WuDe Marshall Business Group. And what I want to talk about sort of is the overview of how we conduct business. Um, I would say there are three sections, phases, equally important. Some get ignored, but it also becomes that sort of infamous funnel thing, which is it's heading to a certain direction. You have to first find and engage potential members, customers. I don't know. Some people might find the word customers, um, I don't know, pejorative or feel uncomfortable about it. But I mean, we are talking about the business of martial arts. They will become your students. You will teach them good stuff. They may become very good friends. But we're talking about how to attract somebody to your martial arts business, and then what to do once you have them. You've connected with them. In other words, how to get them in your door and how to sign them up, and then how to deal with the everyday functioning of your school, which is just as important, if not more important, if you ask me, than anything else that you do. So, there was a time when you could just drop some money into Facebook and run an ad and you'd be swamped. There was a time when we would run Groupon, and Groupon used to run like an ad for like 3 days. It wasn't consistently running, and we used to have to get prepared for that, because what would happen was people would they would run the ad and you get like 600 calls in a day. Those days are not with us anymore. Um, we have to contend with that. And obviously, a lot of martial arts schools do not have thousands of dollars to drop into advertising. Um, you need to spend about, if you're really serious about a martial arts business, you need to spend about, you know, $10 to $15 a day on your budget, which, in 30 days. Um, so I would say that you always want to, like I said, Facebook is not what it used to be. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's not just your quote unquote competition. It's the way that Facebook changed their algorithms and stuff, and the way that they want you to basically spend a lot more money than you used to have to spend. Um, you need Google. So ad spend should be on Google every month. And like I said, if you budget $10 a day for your advertising, $6 or $7 of that should be Google. And then if you want every once in a while, or have a consistent Facebook spend, $3 or $4 a day on Facebook. Um, Now, there's a lot of ways that you can attract people without spending money. Uh, the absolute best, if you ask me, is Groupon, which we said, Groupon is different now, because it's not like they ran a deal and, it's going to be coming on this date and it's going to run for 2 days and 10 million people are going to grab it. It's there all the time. But remember, what Groupon is that we're not is a giant corporation with experts on marketing and experts on social media and stuff like that. If you run a Groupon, they're going to make sure people are seeing their ads, because they're making this, money off of it, as like you are. I don't understand why people are so opposed to Groupon. You have to do the Groupon correctly, and you have to have a good business system. But Groupon will bring you people. Um, like I said, in the heydays of Facebook marketing and stuff, we were getting at least one or two what we call web specials every day. But when you're not getting that anymore, if you get 10 web specials in a month, in this, especially post pandemic, I'm talking in the long run, but we're going to start tightening this up and talking about today. But I'm doing more, today being this marketplace. But right now, what I'm doing is sort of the overview. Groupon will bring you people. So there's no reason not to do Groupon if you can do it. I don't know if you can do it in every market. And again, some markets are going to be more competitive than others, but Groupon's going to consistently bring you people if you set it up correctly. And we'll get to that at some point, probably not this morning. So what else can you do? Well, we live in the age of social media. You have to have social media. We used to talk about these link wheels, which is basically the idea that website, you have to have a website. And ultimately what you want to do is have everybody go on your website. And then your website has to be set up so that you gather potential, what was the term we used to use? Suspects and I'm going blank this morning, but in other words, they're potential clients. You have to have a way of gathering them up. So in other words, they opt into your website and then you can remarket to them. They should have the opportunity to pay you money immediately. And again, I'm going to get into like the details of this. And right now I'm doing the over thing, but you have to have a website and the website has to be set up a certain way. But how do you get people to the website? So what happens is the link wheel is like, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have TikTok. All these things should lead people to your website. Don't have stuff that takes people off your website. That's a big mistake. People have like all these links on their websites that take people off. Once they're on the website, you should try to get them to opt in. Every one of your program descriptions, get more information, all this other stuff should include putting in their name and email. And if the website's set up right, you have autoresponder and you have numerous opportunities to remarket to them. So use your social media. Now, I say this like all the time. I don't understand why people have trouble producing content. You know how you produce content? If you're running a martial arts school, you should have classes 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week, sometimes 2 or 3 classes in a day. We have this thing, I'm on it right now, it's called a cell phone. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but the cell phone has this feature, it's called a camera. And you could take video of your classes and literally just go like swipe your camera in front of the class for 25 to 35 seconds, even less. That's your content. If you do that every day and post it on social media, that's organic, what we call organic marketing. It's going to bring people to you. So you'll have some ad spend. You should have Groupon. That would be my number one piece of advice to everyone. Right? You should have web specials on your website, but we're kind of not there yet. Facebook. You should have a Facebook page for your school. If you run, like I do, 3 or 4 programs, have a different page for each one of your programs. So in other words, I have a page devoted to what we would call our fitness classes. I have a page devoted to what I call my Muay Thai Sanda classes. I have a page devoted to my Kung Fu Shui Jiao classes. I have other pages too. But basically, as a school, you're justified in having a page for each one of your programs. If you do nutritional counseling, if you do personal training, create a page for each one of those. Have them on Facebook. They should all be linked back to your website. Though, like let's say, for example, my fitness page on Facebook will link to my, not landing page because that's the main page, but the sub page for fitness. So in other words, it'll take them directly to where they can opt in to get information on my fitness program, as opposed to, is this a martial arts school? Oh, maybe they only do like, MMA and beat people up, and that's not what I'm interested in. Funnel them right into the segment. They're interested in Kung Fu. You don't want them to come to the main page where maybe they're going to see the boxing and the kickboxing and go, oh, but I'm a Kung Fu person. I'm interested in Kung Fu. I'm not interested in that. Your Kung Fu page on Facebook will lead in. We have actually 2 different Instagram accounts because one is more geared toward our Sanda and Kung Fu, and the other is more geared toward our fitness. I'm just playing with TikTok. Even one of my mentors in the martial arts industry said, I don't really understand it, but I post on it because you have to. And that's it. I mean, um, there's a big argument right now about whether hashtagging is important. I would say do it anyway. You should always have a little bit of a tagline, obviously, a little bit of something that catches people's attention. Usually, like, right now, Happy New Year, get started. Now you can save now, join now and get a free month. But you're not going to do free intros. But I'll get to that in a second. So you have ad spend, you have Groupon, you have a link wheel, you have all these things. Facebook, Twitter. I know people say, like, well, Twitter, it's X now. It's controversial. Don't get involved in the controversy, but post those videos. Post a useful tip. Post an inspiring quote. Post the, wow, my shins are sore today. Smiley face. Anything that will get people's attention. Instagram, obviously, videos, pictures, TikTok. And some people will probably criticize me for TikTok, but there are people on there and they can come and give you money. Now maybe your markets are slightly different. We'll get to that also. But you have a link. Well, send everybody to your website. Now, like I said, your website must do two things. It must have people. You want to see our schedule for fitness. You want to see our schedule for Muay Thai. You want to see our schedule for Kung Fu. Give us your email. And then it should have autoresponders. And then also, you can set up like flash sales. You can do all kinds of stuff and engage people. And Engage, there's actually a software that you can get for your website called Engage that will do a lot of these things. So like I said, I've said before, I'm not going to try to sell you websites. I don't build websites. I'm not going to try to do your marketing for you. I don't do that. What I will do is, if you need help with these things that are technical and specialized, I can put you in touch with people that are good at it. With certain caveats, because the more you get into the martial arts industry, the more I want a website, and they'll try to sell you 500 other products. But you need a real website, and you need it set up correctly so it collects. And second of all, you need to have the opportunity for them, if they want to give you money instantly. Now, another controversy in the martial arts industry is whether you should use a billing company. And people say stuff like, well, if you use a billing company, you're going to lose like 8 to 10% of your income. It's a misleading statement, because first of all, 3.5 to 4% of that is going to be the credit card discounts, which you're going to lose no matter what. No matter what. People are going to pay you by credit cards. That's how they're going to pay you. And the credit card processing, no matter who you use, is going to charge you. The other 3.5 to 4% that you might lose is, what they call the servicing fee. Now, even if you get one of these softwares that runs your billing, and I'm going to get to this all in detail. Right now I'm doing the overview. But they're going to charge you fees. Now they'll tell you, well, it's a fat fee of $200, $300, right? Whereas a billing company might charge you, $500 if you're doing like $12,000 in billing. And if you start making a lot of money, they'll take $1,000. But here's the one advantage of this. You don't have to collect the money. You don't have to deal with the people that want to get out of a contract. You don't want to have to deal with the people that want to do freezes. You don't want to have to deal with when the card bounces, calling them up and saying, hey, I need the money. They're a buffer. One of the things that I like most about it is, whatever you call me about, I don't want to argue with members. I don't want to, and I don't even have the time. I'm running classes. I'm doing the things that I need to do. The billing company is your buffer. Any question you have, any issue you have, anything regarding your billing, when you're billed, how you're billed, whether you need to freeze, whether you want to freeze because of medical, whether you want to cancel because of medical, because you want to cancel because it's raining outside. I mean, people are bizarre these days. They're going to do that for you. It's worth your time. Your time is money. If you waste time dealing with crazy people, and there are tons of crazy people out there, you're wasting money. So the reason I bring this up is that the billing company that I use has a way for you to build web pages where you can collect money from people. So I set up, now again, I link it through my website. So you go on my website, you opt in. Now, if you don't buy anything from me on that day, I can still market back to you. You will get emails, you'll get autoresponders. This is in marketing called the open hand, which is you start giving them free advice. Hey, here's one trick to improve your sidekick. Here's, one food that is great to eat before your workout. Give them a bunch of free stuff. And then at some point, some people will go, well, they give me a lot of free stuff. Maybe I should buy one of these web specials. So if they don't buy the web special right then and there, you have them. You can remarket to them. You can try to get them to sign up later on. Some people will just go right on there and buy stuff. What should they buy? Now, again, you always give people the illusion that they have choice. So it's always two options. On Groupon, it's the same thing. Like we do like a 4 and a 10 or a 4 and an 8 or a 5 and a 10 or a 5 and 8. There's all these different strategies to do stuff. And sometimes depending on the program, because remember, I do like a fitness program, I do like a contact kickboxing, and I do a kung fu. There's different strategies. But just generally speaking, again, right now I'm just doing large picture stuff. Large picture stuff is they come in, you have them. You can remarket to them. They're not going to disappear. It's not like somebody that walks in your front door and goes, oh, hey, this is cool. Can I get a card or get a schedule? And you have no idea who that person is, and you will never see them again. And that happens, and don't feel bad about that. But on the internet, you can capture them. You should have an option for them to pay you money immediately. Now, you should always offer something for free. Now, if you're doing a kickboxing, Thai boxing, MMA-based program, the easiest thing is gloves. So, for example, you could do, and the bare minimum I do is 3 classes with gloves for $29. So, and I've been doing this forever, and I've been in business for people, and people freak out. I'm going to give them free gloves? Yeah. And it's amazing. It's the same karate people that will give a free uniform, but they don't want to give free gloves. And some people don't even want to give a free uniform. Like they have these schemes where they put the uniform, like for kids programs, it's the worst. And I'm going to definitely have an entire segment at one point on talking about how the kids kind of run the industry for the adults, because instructors treat adults like they treat children. Right now, with shipping, with increased expenses, blah, 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 even with the private labeling, which I do on my gloves, a glove costs me about $16. So if you walk in and I hand you a pair of gloves, you've paid me $29 bare minimum. And remember, I have like another one that's like $49, and I have some that are like $69. I have different price. But the minimum money you're going to pay me is $29, and it's going to cost me $16. So even if you take one class and I never see you again, I made a little bit of money. And it's constant money too, because they pay you every week on what you did web specials. So you did 2 web specials that week. It's a little bit of money that goes into your account. And, like you said, well, $60. Well, we all know if you're running a martial arts school, sometimes the phone bill needs to be paid or you have to run payroll. And $60 is the difference between whether you can run it or not. Let's not be ridiculous here. Money is money. I told people, pick up pennies off the floor, because even though pennies aren't going to make you rich, your attitude toward money should always be, any opportunity I can make money, I should take that opportunity to make that money. So you have a link wheel. That's all the things that you're doing. You have some paid ad spend. You have Groupon if you can get it. That sends everyone to your website. Groupon will also do what the web special does, which is get you somebody that's already paid you to come in. You're going to make some money off of them no matter what they do. But of course, the fact that they're going to come in and take a class is going to be your opportunity to then sell them on a membership, so that you're going to be somebody that's doing recurrent payment. So that's defining them. Suspect, that's the word suspect, and then prospect. Suspect is everyone that's out there. You're not sure who wants to do martial arts, who's in your neighborhood, who's looking for a program. They're a suspect. Once they log into your website and you have their um, email and their contact information, they're a prospect. If they've bought a web special or a Groupon, they're a qualified prospect. They've already paid you money. Now, there is a rule, which is once someone has given you money once, they're more likely to give you money again. We used to do this thing where we're like, hand me that pen. Give it back to them, hand it to me again. Then give it to me. If somebody gives you the pen the first time and then you hand it back to them, they'll keep doing it. It's subconscious. It's not something that we're conscious about. Once they paid you money once, they're more likely to pay you money again. It's like when you sign up somebody for a contract and they start making the payments, they're more likely to keep the payments. The person that's going to be the biggest problem for you is going to be the person that misses the first payment. So you bring them in. So then the next step is, well, what do you do to get somebody to sign up? And again, this is overarching stuff. We will do more specifics. If you want to come into my gym and like have real consulting where we really go over this stuff and mocks and everything, I don't know, maybe I'll do a seminar on it for instructors that want to join and do that. I'm not really sure right now. Like I said, right now I'm just sort of doing the open hand and just sort of offering stuff. And I'm not trying to sell anything right now, but I'm just sharing my experiences. But people come in, hand them clothes, give them a class. Next thing is, well, how is your memberships offered? How are they structured? And, you can laugh at it, registration fee. They have different terms for it, sign up fee, whatever it is. And some people go, why would you have that? Well, I have it because I almost never use it. I think right now I'm looking at my sheet, and everything should be laminated, by the way. I'm doing this, I think, in the reverse view, so you're not going to be able to read it, but registration fee, that's what we call it. Right now, it was $100 the first 2 years that I reopened after the pandemic, and I raised it to $150. And the amount of times that I charge somebody that is zero. One of the things you tell people on the first day, right, and people don't understand this, but you'll get to understand it if you follow me enough and you stick around here, is on the first day I say to people, and again, we'll get to details, there's going to be one set of people you're not going to sell on the first day. If you do a Groupon and you have what we call a Groupon 10 classes, they're probably not good to sell on the first day. But I have Web 3s, 3 classes, Web 6 classes. I have some people that do Groupons for 5 classes, and I have some people that do Groupons for 4 classes. They all get sold on the first day. Because when you're done with the first class, you have 2 classes, you have 3 classes, you have 4 classes, whatever you have. I tell them 2 things. If you sign up today, I'm going to waive the registration fee. Aha. That's going to save you $100. Now, it's going to save you $150. And I'm going to give you the first month for free. And so, for example, what I do, again, it's always that illusion of choice. $140 for one time a week. Now it's $145. I raised it, right? Remember that in the New York market right now, a day pass in a gym is about $35. A single class in Pilates or Orange Theory or anything is all about $35. So be somewhere in the 30s. And generally speaking, if you're comfortable with your rates, they're too low. If you're comfortable with the price you're charging, you're not charging enough. And people will pay much more money than you think they will. I had somebody that told me they only wanted to train once a week. And I said, okay, great. I was going to sign up for the 140. And they looked at the 165, which is 2 times a week, and said, well, no, I want to do that. I went but you're only going to come one time a week. Well, maybe sometimes I'll come twice a week. I was trying to steer them into doing the 140. I was going to be happy that they were to do the 140. They did 165. People are very weird, very weird. It's one of the things I'm going to go back to again if you really stick around for my consulting. So you're going to save them, let's say $145 and $150. I just saved you $300. And the first month is free, right? Because again, most people aren't going to show up once or twice a week. And so, and then you go that also kills what they call a challenge. There are challenges which are really obstacles to people signing up. Well, I have 3 more classes. Yeah, but I'm going to give you a free month. You're going to definitely do more than 3 classes in a free month. Hey, you want it to be, today's the 12th, so technically if it was a free month, I should charge you on the 12th of next month. Why don't I charge you on the 20th of next month? It's got giving you like an extra week, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because once they sign, and it should be a contract, sign a contract. And I don't know why people have trouble with contracts, but guess what? Your rent to your landlord is a contract. Your phone is a contract. Your cell phone is a contract. Everything in life is a contract. That's how our system works. And what that means is you want me to teach you, right? Well, you want this gym to be here. If I can't count on money every month to pay my bills, I'm not going to be here. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to sign a contract. I would rather give away, quote unquote, give away the first month and the registration fee, which I never collect anyway, right? And because that becomes the second lever, right? And I'll tell you what I mean by that in 1 second. The first day you sign a contract, 85 to 95% of those people, even if they don't come back, even if they want to cancel, after 3 days, they can't cancel a contract. And a lot of people don't want to end up in a collection situation. Use collection companies. That's also the other thing that business people will tell you not to do. It's bullshit. If you don't pay your phone bill, you're going to end up in collections. You don't pay your cell phone bill, you're going to end up in collections. You don't pay your rent, you're going to get evicted, right? Be a business. The reason that people don't take us seriously as a business is because we don't take ourselves seriously. Put them on a contract. Contract would be for 11 to 12 months. There's a reason why in New York I do 11 months. It's a legal reason. But then I have an auto renew. So it's not really 11 months. It's 11 months that I know they're definitely going to pay me. And if most people will pay me at least a few months afterwards, and if people really become students, they will just keep paying me forever, right? The average student with me, even with the pandemic, is still 9 years. 9 years they train with me on average. And that's even with the pandemic, which killed everything for us for almost 2 years. Get them to sign a contract. And you know that's going to go into your billing starting next month. Not this month. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, your bills should have been paid for this month on the 5th of the month. The money from last month should have paid all your bills for this month. You're looking for your next month billing. So use that. I'm going to save you $300 if you sign up today. And you can give them like a free pair of hand wraps or a t-shirt or something. Again, if you're not doing something with gloves and you need to have something free, if you're doing anything with karate or taekwondo based, you can get really cheap uniforms. Give them a free uniform. I can't do that with Shui Chow. The Shui Chow jackets are seriously expensive. Get a free t-shirt. You can get a t-shirt for, I don't know, $7, $8 these days. Cheap t-shirt. And it may not be something you want to wear, but they may never wear it, but you threw it at them as a freebie. But on the first day, give them a set of hand wraps. Give them a keychain. There's all these things you can give people to feel like they're extra special. That's a contract. That's worth, like I said, 12 months of payment. That's $1,800 that you just did in that one day. Because most people are going to pay the contract. There's always going to be idiots, but most people are going to pay the contract. Even if they never come. I can sit and show you an Excel file of all the people that have signed up. And a bunch of them never came back to class, but they're on contract pay. So, let's say they don't sign on the first day. I don't believe in pressure sales. I sit down, I present the information. If they say I don't want to do it, okay. Sometimes I give them what I call a chicken dinner card. And a chicken dinner card, I stole the term from John Taffer. It's a card that says as long as you join within, your trial special. It used to say $100 because it used to be the registration fee used to be $100. I have to update them now, actually. Save $150. Maybe I'll still give it to them and say save $100. In other words, if you join, before your web special or your Groupon is up, I'll save you $100. Who doesn't want to save $100? Yeah, I'll pay the $50 and I'll pay the first month. And a lot of people, if they wait, they'll understand they have to pay the first month because they've used their classes. Somebody like a group 10, it's very hard on the first day to say to somebody, sign up. I have 9 more classes left. Well, I'll give you a free month. Well, I'm trying to do it once a week. That's not going to be 9 classes, right? People think of months as being 4 weeks. They're going to think they have 2 months worth of classes still. So let them take the classes. After 4 or 5 more classes, approach them. And again, I don't do hard sales. I don't believe in hard sales. Another reason why once you have a contract, they're more likely to stay on contract is don't do a hard sale. If you do a hard sale, you're going to have more people going delinquent. You're going to have more people in collections. You're going to have more problems. You do hard sale, you're more likely to get that bad review. And if you get it on Yelp, though, don't give a shit. Pardon my language. Don't worry about Yelp. But Google, do worry about it. And again, some people will read some reviews and go, this is just bizarro. And you can get some reviews removed. I'll teach you how to do that too. But when you do hard sales, you have more problems. Do a sale. I also believe if you are doing the right thing, and that's the third part, how you run your everyday gym, you don't need to do hard sales. So you have somebody and go after 4 or 5 classes. So you're having a good time, yeah. Have you thought about what you're going to do when the program is over? You know, you have 3 classes left, you have 4 classes. Most people say, well, what are the options again? You sit down the options, go, listen, if you do it in the next couple of classes, I'll waive that registration fee. That's the second lever. You won't have to pay me $150. And sometimes, like on the 7th or 8th class, I still give them the free month because, again, what I'm really interested in doing is getting them to sign the contract. Once they sign the contract, it's good. Then, I mean, I'm still going to offer quality instruction. Pardon me. So you have to, the suspects are out there. You have to engage them. Ad spend, Groupon, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make your content every day. Film a class. Take a picture. Dig up an old picture. You know, interesting stuff. You know, give like a free advice. Give like a little segment of this is how we throw a jab. Whatever it is you need to do. Now, prospects, people that have come to your website, people that have signed up for web specials, people that have signed up for Groupons. Schedule them. Bring them in. Qualify them. I hope that everyone has somebody sign a waiver when they come in. Now, people say, well, waivers don't work. You know, they're not legally enforceable. Yeah, and the flip side of that also is, though, it's very hard to sue me unless I engaged in negligence. You come into a martial arts class and you roll your ankle and you go to court, most judges are going to be like, well, how is that the business's fault? You rolled your ankle. It's, you know, and now, of course, if I had a big hole in my mat or my floor was uneven, you know, that's negligence. So, assuming you run your facility correctly, you don't have those issues. So, you bring people in, you have them take the class, you have a reason for them to sign up on the first day, and then you follow up with them. Then you have your everyday. Websites are very important. They need to be built correctly. So I'm sure that the next couple of questions will be from some of the people in the group. Well, how do I get a website built? What do you mean? Some people go, what's an autoresponder? That's okay. I was the worst at technology. I still am the worst at technology. But it's really the concepts. And again, when I left the franchise that I was in, and I was sort of, you know, running around like a crazy person trying to make up for the fact that now I need a new website, I need to do all this stuff. I didn't know how to physically do it, but I understood the concepts, and I used a company called Upwork, which if you don't want to use one of the martial arts companies, I can connect you to. So you'll get a good web designer, but they won't know how the martial arts industry runs, so then you have to explain to them the concepts. So what I'm saying basically is I didn't trust anybody that was building websites in the martial arts industry at that point, and I didn't know how to build a website myself, so I used Upwork. I got a company. Most of them are in India. Just be prepared for that. And I had them build my website. And I told them what I needed. And when I said, I need them to opt in and I need to capture their email. And oh, yeah, they know how to do that. If they're a good company, they know how to do that. And I need to set up an autoresponder, you know, and these kind of things. They'll do that all for you. Right now, I would recommend Engage. So if you're building a website, the same company that I would recommend builds your website. You can also buy from them the software that goes on the website called Engage. One of the things is we're always changing the way we we do things in life, in this world. The phone used to be everything, then it became email. Now people want to text, and Engage gives you the option to also text people. So I got delayed getting this launched. Literally, at one point, my Long Island Railroad station was on fire, and my kids get sick and everything. But I did this first one, and if you have any questions, of course, post them immediately, and I'll get to them. And I'm going to try to do at least one of these a week, if not more. I always can do one a week because I'll do it like I'm doing now, like super early on a Saturday morning. Thanks for tuning in.